Physically, for me, I'm fine. I'm good to go. Yeah, mentally, I think there was of course, a bit of reflection afterwards and a lot of disappointment, I think, in the dressing room. And collectively, we felt we were, minutes away from a historic result for us in our season. And obviously, what happened. So, but I think then when a new day comes and you look at it slightly differently, and you have to move forward and look forward to the next game.
Oh, I don't think about the Munich game. First we go back into Premier League, but there are players on the way back, but I can't say now prognose how long it will take.
Yeah, I think that character is important. I think this season especially, we have to results, whether they're positive or negative, they can't linger with us. We can't take them with us even for a couple of days, because then that influences what happens in the future. And
I really respect them. It's a difficult team to play, but also it's a good challenge. And so I like to play against them because the challenge, we have to rise to the occasion. We know that we have to be on our best against them.
Yeah, I think we want to get through the month, but we want to do well. I still think we've got a really good team on the pitch. I've said that all through this injury position that we're in, that we still have a very good team. Yes, we have some youth in it, but we have a lot of experience in it as well, so we have a good mix.
Mason Mount is today returning on the pitch, but I don't know how long it takes when he will return. I can't say in this moment.
Sean and Joe aren't long-term injuries. We're hopeful we can get them back. The problem is even 2 weeks or 3 weeks at this stage seems like a lifetime, because of the amount of games we've got in those 2 or 3 weeks. At any other stage of the season, that wouldn't be too bad. Very difficult to give you a definitive time on both players, but they're not too bad.
How good we play, and also on the Wednesday we played very good, and also in Copenhagen we played very good, and even in Bayern Munich we played very good. But yeah, we have to do some things better. So eliminating individual errors, and also things in defense transition, but we can sort this out. And I would more concerned if we didn't play this that well.
There's no chance for us to go at it, and there hasn't been really any time this season. It's been game to game, a game every 3-4 days. So no, we're certainly not going at it in between games. We're recovering the players. We're then tactically giving them the information they need to play the next game. Really, that's been our way of working the majority of the season.
Yeah, then we have to manage 3 games in 6 days to get the best results of all the games. And we have more than 11 players, and we have good options there. I think Soufiane also showed he was playing a very good game. Yeah, so we have there the options, and then you manage the load of the players, and that it's about freshness as well.
Yeah, Manchester United and Newcastle, as mentioned, so closely situated on the Premier League standings. The only difference besides that point is in the goal-scoring department. Newcastle have scored 31 to Man United 16. That's a big difference.
It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. But that just says to me where Manchester United are in comparison to Newcastle, or where Newcastle is in comparison to Manchester United. Newcastle look like, when you watch them, they're so organised, they're so focused, they're so driven. They know what they're doing and when they're supposed to be doing things. Whereas you look at Manchester United, and apart from a few individual moments of brilliance, Garnacho's overhead kick, Bruno Fernandes having a great finish from outside the 18-yard box the game before, they look a little bit disorganised. They look like they're not really buying into something. Now, I don't know what that is, and I don't know why that is, but I'm watching it from the outside looking in, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't really know many, if any, players that Ten Hag has improved for Manchester United over the last however long he's been there, year and a bit. And that for me is concerning. Whereas you look at Eddie Howe and what he's done with that Newcastle side, and you have to argue the players that Newcastle have are not better individually than the players that Manchester United have. But look at what they're doing, and look at where they are and where they're going. They're scoring goals galore. They're defending really well. They look organised. There's a big difference there.
Such an interesting point you make about Manchester United, because we've been talking about them as if they're in trouble. They're crisis, their problems always seem bigger, always seem more blown out of proportion. And then they were actually last week, as mentioned, the form team in the Premier League right now. It's a little bit hard to believe. And maybe it's because it's all been by a single goal. It's all been someone pulling out a moment of brilliance here and there. What do you think?
Laborious. I mean, you look at the goal difference is 0. I mean, come on, 13 games in, the goal difference is 0. And that sums it up well. They have no margin. I agree with Jeremy, there's not a real direction, a clear identity of what this team is trying to do. We see the struggles of Marcus Rashford, which I think is an individual issue, and you've been through goal drought, I'm sure, like every striker.
Not bad.
No, but no, of course not. I just meant, like a tiny one, but also a structural problem within that team, I think. And we saw that at Galatasaray in the Champions League on Wednesday night, where they again had a lead and again blew the lead up, or whatever you say. And I think there's a big issue, even in characters, in leadership, and in organisation.
I will from now on be saying blew the lead up. Absolutely. I love how it sounds way better.
They did,
than
to
blew
be
the
fair.
lead. Yeah.
They lost the lead.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
lose the lead. They lose it on a regular basis, which is not the first time.
Okay, we've got to give them their props, though, because beating Everton was the first time that they won by more than a single goal this season, and there was some pretty impressive goal in there. I've seen loads of people saying for the Premier League goal of the season, stop the count. What do you think?
It's hard to say because it's against one of my former clubs.
Sorry.
And also, you've never scored a goal like that, so...
I have. I was just saying, where's my clips? I don't see my clips up here.
We could not find it.
Look, to be honest, it's one of the best overhead kicks I think I've seen and many other people have seen. It's frustrating that it came right at the beginning, within the first, 3 minutes? Because it kind of put a dampener on what was to be a really exciting, interesting game between the two teams. But look, it was a fantastic victory for Manchester United. The goals ultimately win your games, and that one killed the game off for Everton.
Phenomenal. They've apologised for not being able to get your clips on time. Said it's on VHS, so they couldn't.
Wow. Black and white, yeah.
They didn't have enough time to get
that's
it
cool.
digital. Sorry, Jim.
Ooh, happy Christmas.
It's my birthday next week.
And happy
This is what I have to deal with.
All in one. All in one. Well, you could be having injury problems like it seems everyone in the Premier League. Newcastle as well. You've had a look at something from midweek that you wanted to point out to us.
Yeah, because obviously they played in Paris on Tuesday night, and the same 11 started the game and finished the game. Same 11 players will start with a Louis Smiley, a 17-year-old in midfield. And I think Eddie Howe will hope for no more injuries in that first half against United and nothing bad. But for a team that plays with so much intensity, not being able to bring any of your 5 subs is mad when you think about it. And on the other hand, Ten Hag will have that luxury of bringing people on.
Yeah, just a thought about Newcastle and this phenomenal home record that they have so far this season. They've been unplayable there almost, even with their problems, even though we weren't sure who they were going to have in reserve against Chelsea. They did the business. The only time they lost there was against Liverpool. What does that do for you as a player when you know, right, we're in trouble, we don't have backup, but we are at home and this is our fortress?
Look, playing at St James's Park is an intimidating place to be. It's incredible. 52, 53, however many thousand fans there. But the stadium is so intense, it's so tight, the stands overhang the pitch, so it makes it a really intimidating atmosphere. When you know that you've got a great home record and the fans are right behind you from the beginning of the game right through to the end, it's almost like an invincibility. You know, you feel like you cannot lose. Even if you don't lose, you're not gonna you'll draw the game. You're gonna win the game. So you've got like an extra level of confidence, another level of belief that you're going to do wonders there. So you don't have to worry. It's amazing.
Low with the ball in the overhead. Oh, astonishing!
Wow.
Garnacho with one of the great goals. Genius. 1-0 United. Garnacho with a special strike that you'll see over and over again. Absolutely remarkable.